guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant Travis McMichael guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant Travis McMichael guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant Travis McMichael guilty.
Let the horn do the do-dang-do.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test me in the mic. 1 2 3. Real close to the mic. This is the place where I get to say what I want, the way I want, and how I want, and I don't have anyone here to take the topic to the right or to the left, because it's all on me. This is Express Yourself, pre-recorded version. And we got some things to talk about today. Guilty, guilty, guilty in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Kyle Rittenhouse is a different story. We're going to get to this in 60 seconds.
Don't never need help. Nobody else. All you have to do, Lord, express yourself. Whatever you're doing, do it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nate Patterson, and this is Express Yourself live, the pre-recorded version, coming to you from my bedroom, because the studio is halfway open. They haven't gotten all the way there, but they're part way open. All right, so anyways, let's talk about this today, okay? 2 big cases, 2 big trials in the news, and they both are over, okay? Before we get to the trials, let me say this, man. Let me say this, because I really got to get this off my chest, right? Why? Because these 2 trials reflect the hypocrisy of white people. What? The hypocrisy of white people. Okay? Why are white people always trying to tell us it's not about race? What would they know about racism? What? Tell me. I'll wait. Any one of you. You could tell me what you think you know. But until you live this thing 24/7, you need to sit down and shut the F up. And I won't be cussing today. I'll try not to. But you really do. Sit all the way down, over in the corner, with a dunce cap on. Because that's just stupid. The minute something happens, white person kills a black person, white cop kills an unarmed cop, the first thing out of their mouth, it's not about race. Do you know what happened? No. No, we don't, but we'll get to the bottom of it with a how do you know it wasn't about race? Do you know what these people were feeling and thinking? Guys, you people need to stop that, because both of these cases I'm about to discuss were all about race. And you try to use the Rittenhouse one, okay, because all the victims were white. Okay, let's get to the root of that problem. Okay, a black man was shot. Jacob Blake. That started the whole thing. Why was Rittenhouse there? Right? The lines had already been drawn up there in Kenosha. You know what I mean? They already been drawn. It was a black issue. It was a Black Lives issue. And fuck him. I said I wasn't going to cuss. I'm sorry. Screw him, Mr. Rittenhouse. I'm not going to call him Mr. I'm just going to call him Rittenhouse, because I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like his demeanor. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he smiles. He is a liar. Okay? So, Rittenhouse came there on the white vigilante side that white people don't want to talk about. Okay? In all these protests, the lines have always been drawn. On one side, you have the people of color, and now that we have some white people that are mixed in with us, right? But normally it's people of color on one side. And on the other side, white people, whether they be nationalists, whether they be Klan, whether they be whatever the hell they name themselves, the Proud Boys or whatever, they're all racist. All of them. Okay? Every last one of them is racist. How can I tell? Because I live with racism every second of my life. That's how I can tell. You can sit on the stand and call yourself some type of expert witness because you spent a few years studying some particular thing, then I'm a freaking expert on racism. And you're not. Okay, let's get to the case. Let's take the Rittenhouse case first. Okay, but first let me say this, right? Well, no, I'm gonna go ahead. Take the Rittenhouse case first, right? Here's a 17-year-old kid. 17 years old kid arms himself with an illegal rifle, AR-15, 16, whatever the hell they call it, right? It was not his. He was not able to carry it. He was not old enough. It was not legal. So already he has broken the law. Already he has broken the law, no matter what he says. Okay? The judge threw that out. The judge threw that out because that was the catalyst for his conviction on anything they were charging him for. The judge threw that out. This judge in the Rittenhouse case, in my opinion, y'all people can say he's the greatest and fairest judge of them all. No, that was a pure race-hating judge. I don't care what kind of kind face he put on. I felt it in him, in his actions, in his words. Okay?
Kyle Rittenhouse is set to go on trial next week for murder. The teenager killed 2 people in Kenosha, Wisconsin during protests last year in the aftermath of the Jacob Blake police shooting. Now, what has a lot of people paying attention this morning is a pretty controversial decision by the judge in a pre-trial hearing, as there were some ground rules set that the prosecution is not happy with.
The word victim is a loaded word. And I think alleged victim is a cousin to it. Let the evidence show what the evidence shows, and if the evidence shows that any or more than one of these people were engaging in arson, rioting, or looting, then I'm not going to tell the defense they can't call them that.
And you guys can go ahead and feel sorry for Rittenhouse and say, oh, the judge was fair. You're wrong. And I'll prove it to you. Get at me. I'll prove it to you. Okay? But anyways, this judge was very partial, okay, and pro-Rittenhouse. You could tell. Once he threw out that charge, game over. Okay? So let's take a look at what happened. Rittenhouse, well, you all know the story. Rittenhouse went there with a gun, got into some beef with a couple of people, shot somebody and then ran. Okay, let's pick up at that point. Because the case, I watched the whole case, and they were all talking about this dude Rosenbaum. Okay, Rosenbaum just kept picking on Rittenhouse. All those people out there, he targeted Rittenhouse according to the defense. Rosenbaum was crazy, right? Rosenbaum was this, that, and the other. Nothing about the little illegal little teenager out there with a gun. You're in a protest, a very racially charged protest, and you're a white boy with a gun. If you white people can't see the harm in that, kill yourself. Every last one of you, kill yourself. Because all that did was exacerbate the crowd, and it showed. And it showed. What are you walking around with a damn AR-16 for with no authority? No authority whatsoever in this type of situation, and the cops are letting you do it. The cops are saying, we appreciate you guys, we're glad you're in this. Nobody's been deputized. It's just, and I'm going to say it, a cracker with a gun, the way it's always been. Me and my boy, Jeff Smalls, we used to call him Super White Man. You know what I mean? James Bond, white man with a gun. We used to say, what's the most dangerous thing on this planet? A white man with a gun. We said that when we were, what, 14, 15? I still say it today. And it has proved itself time and time again. So anyways, little Rittenhouse running around lying to everybody about he's some type of EMT, and he's running around, all right, who goes medical? You know what struck me? Excuse me. You know what struck me as odd? But during the contemporary times, it was spot on. Is that this dude claimed to be a medic, an EMT, but he used the term medic, which is a military term. He's under military conditions. He has a bodyguard following him, okay, while he does his medic duties. But he's carrying a long gun, an AR-16. I have never, ever seen any medic in my military career carry a gun, let alone a long one. I have never seen a movie with a military medic handling a firearm. But in today's world, right, you got to have your gun because you could be tough and look like, one of those, whatever they call those white boys in the woods shooting guns. You know what I mean? I enlisted into the U.S. military. You didn't. And you're running around acting like you did. Posing. But anyways, so you got this little kid running around with a gun, right? And then you got a journalist, a so-called journalist, dude with a camera, following him around, interviewing him, and that just upped the ante. That just, head went like that. So now he's performing. So he gets into a beef, right? Now Rosenbaum, the prosecution said that the reason Rosenbaum ran after this dude is because he pointed his gun at these other people. And I don't doubt that happened because they were putting laser sights on everybody. Y'all seem to think that these white boys with guns are so fucking honest. They're the most lyingest people on this planet. White boy with a gun. Automatic liar. Automatic. So anyways, right? Where am I at? So Rosenbaum went after him, even with a gun. Rosenbaum wasn't even armed. They tried to say Rosenbaum was all this, scary guy. He just got out of the hospital for whatever reason. And you know that little plastic bag with all your medical and all that stuff, they put in the bag and scoot you out the door. He had that, so he threw it at Rittenhouse. They're trying to say it was a Molotov cocktail. You see these people? You see what these people do? Plain as day. You know what I mean? Dude just got out of the hospital. He got that bag and he threw it at this little idiot. They're trying to say that he was the aggressor. He's the aggressor. This little punk come here to protect someone's property. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. You protect someone's property, right? With a gun. He has a long gun. But Rosenbaum's dangerous because he threw a plastic bag. White people, y'all are twisted. You really are. Y'all are some twisted people. I got to tell you, okay? And I don't care if you think I'm being racist. This is the truth. This is fact. And you're going to see that when I go to the other case in a minute, right? But anyways, okay? So Rosenbaum chasing him down, Rittenhouse running, right? He sees Rosenbaum get ready to catch his ass. He turns around and shoot him. Not once. He don't shoot him in the leg. He don't even shoot him in the air and say, get away from me. He shot that dude 4 times point blank with a long gun. 4 times. Once in the chest, 3 in the back. In the back. As he fell. As Rosenbaum fell, this little dude kept shooting in the back. Then, now here's the juice. Pay close attention. Because, the prosecutor didn't say none of this, and the defense stepped all around it, right? Just like in the Arbery case, where these 3 clowns claimed to be making a citizen's arrest, the people in the Rittenhouse case were making a citizen's arrest under the law, but they were called a mob, trying to hurt the active shooter. When the prosecution named Kyle Rittenhouse the active shooter, the defense had a fit. You know what I mean? Claims he's the victim. He had just shot and killed someone. And then he took off running. Now, what you heard, in the prosecution brought this out and made the defense look stupid, right? Because Rittenhouse lying said they were saying, get him, kill him, we're going to kill him, get him. So he was feared for his life. They played the tape on what the crowd said. Why you shoot him? Why you do that? Stop him. Stop him. Because Rittenhouse was now running away. They didn't yell, get him, to way down the freaking street. They, under the law, you have to actually witness the crime in order to make a citizen's arrest. And your attempt to detain that person that committed the crime that you just saw has to be done right there on that spot. Okay? You can't see him 30 days later or 2 days later and say, hey, that's the guy, and try to stop him, because now you are not within the law. This is the way it was explained during the course of the trial. Okay? Well, all these people saw Rittenhouse shoot this dude. Then they saw him turn around and run. Do you understand? So being good Samaritans and saying this dude might be killing other people, these people, the ones that did step up, brave, these are real heroes. This is what heroes do. Not sitting in your car because you a cop and somebody comes and claps your ass and all of a sudden you a hero. No, you just got shot. You did nothing heroic but sat there eating your donut. Okay? These people actually took off after this guy, caught him, and tried to disarm him, and then he went on to kill 2 more, injuring another. But these people were deemed mob and bad people. And the prosecution didn't defend them. I don't understand, man. It was a weak prosecution. Although he did step up on the closing argument, it was too late. Because the judge had already threw out that one charge that would have convicted this little punk. You know what I mean? The illegal age of carrying a firearm. That's a serious crime, but the judge threw it out. His reason for throwing it out? He didn't think that it applied to this case. Seriously? Let's take a look at the dude's mother, who knew he had the gun. She drove him across state lines with a illegal firearm. She should have been a party to this murder, to this charges. But she wasn't. So they found this little Peckerwood innocent. And you know what the first thing he did? Went on Fox News and did an interview. Now all of a sudden he loves Black Lives Matter. That was the reason you were there, because you were against Black Lives Matter. And whoever the hell Antifa is, because I still don't know anything about those people. I don't know if they're good or bad. And I could care less. You know what I mean? I could care less. Right? But anyways, they're always talking about it wasn't about race. They took race out of this trial. You understand? They took race out the trial. Right? And the little punk got off. Another George Zimmerman. And he's starting off just like George Zimmerman. Bragging. Enough with that dude. Let's get to what I witnessed today. I had to wait till today to see the verdict. I knew last night they were going to come in with a verdict. I thought they should have had a verdict in the Arbery case I'm talking about now. I thought they should have had a verdict, within the first hour or two of deliberations, right? But as I went to sleep last night, I said, okay, they're going to have a verdict tomorrow. I'm leaning towards guilty. I'll be very surprised if these people were found not guilty. But then again, it is a 99.9% white jury. Okay, they took race. How do you take race out of this shooting? But they took race out of this shooting. They accused somebody else, I can't remember who it was, of trying to inject race in. It's about race. It's about race. Okay. So anyways, so I thought about it last night. I said, well, they're probably fighting over the charge for Bryant, Roddy Bryant. Every time I hear that punk ass, I'm trying not to cuss. Every time I hear that dude's name, I think of Roddy Piper, the wrestler. A lot of you young people probably won't remember him, but I do, right? And they're trying to say that, he had nothing to do with it. He was just filming it. He was just filming it. He did a little by trying to block Arbery in, but that doesn't mean anything. On what planet? On what planet? So, in one case, you got 3 vigilantes claiming citizens arrest under no grounds. And in the other case, you have citizens trying to make a citizen's arrest under strong ground. The ones with no ground were called heroes. The ones with strong ground were called a mob by white people. White people. Because I sat there, listened to the so-called pundits who are nothing but idiots. And I've spoken to a few people and I've heard people talk out there in the world. All white people, 99% of y'all say it's not about race. Wishful thinking. Anyways, so, okay, I gotta start to cut this short. I'm going over my time here. All right, so anyways, let's wrap this up, right? All of them were found guilty. All of them ain't going nowhere. They're sitting there looking like they're getting ready to cry, but they were tough guys when they were chasing down Arbery. Arbery ran from them for 5 minutes straight running. Straight running, 5 minutes. Can you imagine what it was like to die tired and out of breath? Can you imagine that? Shot in the chest at point blank range by a shotgun. And you know what amazed me? Is that after being shot at point blank range in the chest by a shotgun, Arbery was still whooping that cracker's ass. He was literally whooping that cracker's ass with the gun. You know, the tough guy, the vigilante, you know, the guy that spent time in the military, you know, with all this, you know, this training and whatnot. He was beating the fuck out that motherfucker until the wound took his toll. Until the wound took his toll. He had almost taken the gun away from this big, strong, burly white boy carrying a gun who's gonna, whatever he was gonna do. You understand? And then after Arbery dropped, Travis was his name, called him a stupid nigga. Who's stupid now, Travis? Poetic justice isn't. Your little punk ass is getting ready to cry when you heard the verdict. Because you knew your life was over. Over. I love it. I love it. So, all together, I think we're what? As far as justice is concerned, 3 for an uncounted number because you can't number it. We got 3 victories. I'm Nate Patterson, and this is Express Yourself Live. Deuces.